Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Jose Aliaga Show. Today we have a special guest. His name is Mark Kassa. Mark is the lead singer from of Slight Return USA, and also he's a voting member of the Grammy Awards. And our co-host today is our friend Troy Coffin. As you know, Troy is well known. He knows a lot of people, and Troy is also a good friend with Mark Kassa. Welcome, guys. Nice
Hey,
to see
thanks
you.
for having me.
Nice to
Thanks,
see
Jose.
So, Mark, you have a very impressive career. I saw you a couple of times, Mr. Kasap event. You're always supporting a lot of fundraisers and charities events, and it's very nice of you. And thank you so much. So, tell us a little bit about you. Are you from Michigan? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit, born at Detroit Memorial Hospital, and which isn't even there anymore. But born there, we lived in Detroit for years, and then moved to Southfield and moved out to West Bloomfield. My grandfather came here in 1930 or 1929, actually, from Iraq because of religious persecution. Being a Catholic, and the family was getting threats because of the religious background. They were going to be because of religious persecution. He came over in 1936. He got the rest of the family over here from Iraq and opened up a small grocery store, and then my uncle and my dad were business partners, his two sons, until 2006 when they retired. And I was, obviously involved in the business too for years and years. We had a store on Linwood and Davison. We had a store on Kercheval and Garland. They got burned down during the '67 riots. And my dad and my uncle went and worked on the assembly line at Chrysler till they rebuilt the store. And then we had another store on Linwood and Davison from 1974 till 2006 that, I spent my entire, from age 6 to age 38 working there. And then we're in the burbs now, and we still have a store in Detroit. But yeah, we were in Detroit during the Coleman Young years, the Dave Bing and Dennis Archer and Kwame and the whole shot. But yeah, I've been a part of Detroit for years and years.
Yeah, no, and Detroit is, it's a big difference in the last 5 years. Detroit has been improving a lot in infrastructure. A lot of business people are coming in and helping out, and it's growing. It's changing. Hopefully, everybody here in Michigan, we love Detroit and we want to see Detroit great. And thanks for sharing. So, so you're married? You have a family?
Oh yeah, married. We're coming up on 30 years this year. My wife Marilyn, and we have 3 daughters. 2 are married. We got our first grandchild on the way, and third daughter's getting married in July.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
They must be very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
So how you starting getting involved with the Grammy? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, I mean, my music career started quite a while ago. In 1990, I left and went to Musicians Institute in Hollywood. And as you know, if you know the Chaldean community, it's not very common for a Chaldean to go into the music, especially to say, back then, no internet, no cell phones, and say, hey, I'm leaving for the craziest place on earth, Hollywood. But I went to Musicians Institute, which was a one-of-a-kind school, half the kids from outside the U.S., started by Howard Roberts, who was one of the main guitar players for the Wrecking Crew that wrote many, many hits for a lot of artists as kind of ghost writers for everybody. And then from there, when I got back, I started my band in Slight Return. I started in 1995. I had one band before that. I started in 92. And then I've had Slight Return going from 95 till the current. In 2015, I wrote an album called Welcome to the D, and it featured George Clinton from Parliament Funkadelic and Dennis Coffey from the Motown Funk Brothers, and Tony Green, who played with like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and Davey Pattison, who sang for Robin Trower. And I never really thought about applying for the Recording Academy. And I said, you know what? I might as well join and just kind of spread my tentacles out a little bit in the music industry. And there's 3 different tiers of membership. There's like the associate membership, a professional membership, and the top tier is voting. And for voting, you have to have a certain amount of songs out in the world for sale with you as the writer and scanned in on the credits and working with people current in the industry and blah, blah, blah. And I figured even if I got the lowest membership, it was fine. But I got back approved as a voting member, top tier. So been very active with that since. I'm a district advocate for the state of Michigan. So every year when legislation comes out in the music industry that they'd like our legislators to vote for, I meet with the state senator for the state of Michigan and basically go over it with him and tell him what we'd like them to vote for. I do Grammy U mentorship where I mentor music students that are in music college right now to help them along in their career. And then I also do a mentorship where we mentor the teachers that are teaching the younger music students.
So what's it like going down the red carpet?
I mean, it's kind of funny because I'm not a guy who's like starstruck, and I'm not. I mean, I'm a big a guy who loves everyday people, the people that make the world go round, teachers, mentors, veterans. Those are the real people that are fabric of the world. I mean, celebrities are nice. It's nice that they do what they do, but I'm not like a starstruck guy. In fact, when I'm at the Grammys, half the time I got to call my kids and ask them who the hell was I sitting next to, because I don't know who these young artists are.
Yeah.
But it's it's fun. You go there and it's a show. And there's all the cameras and this and that. But again, I'm a Detroit kid. I'm not really. I'm not the starstruck type, but it is fun to be a part of.
Got it. So when you were aspiring to become a musician, who did you say, I want to play like, you hear people say, I want to play like that. Who did you really aspire to be like?
Well, I mean, what really inspired me to play in the first place was Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan was playing at Meadowbrook, I believe it was 1985. And I remember one of my closest friends, who was a drummer, he had gotten the Couldn't Stand the Weather album. And we're sitting around listening to the record. And he's like, hey, man, this guy's playing at Meadowbrook. You want to go see him? So we went to see Stevie Ray, and he just blew me out of the water. And that was when it really hit me that I wanted to, take it up a level playing wise. And then, of course, I'm a huge Jimi Hendrix fan. My license plate on my car is J. Hendrix. Santana. I've worked with a lot of guys, the guys in Santana's band recording and performing and stuff. I'm a big Santana fan. Mainly those three guys influenced me really more than anybody.
Okay. And who would you say is your favorite person to play alongside on stage?
To play alongside? Boy, that's a tough one, man. I always have a great time jamming with everybody.
Don't mean to put you on the spot that way, but
no, they're all great. I mean, I'd say I had a lot of fun jamming with Derek St. Holmes. George Clinton, I'd say, was the funnest out of everybody. I really didn't know what to expect because, George is such a wild character when you see him, with Parliament Funkadelic. But he was a great guy to work with. Had a lot of fun on stage, and I was actually just surprised and very lucky that I was able to do it. He's not an easy person to contact and record with.
And that's another great point you make. How do you get in touch with all these people? I mean, obviously, it's pretty impressive the amount of people that you know. How'd you do it?
Well, it's kind of funny. I'm one of the few guys. I don't call any agents. I don't call anybody. I just try and contact them directly. And what a lot of musicians don't realize is they have people monitor the social media pages for these big guys, and they do get back to them if something looks interesting. For example,
using the right buzzwords.
Yeah. Like as long as if you have something that's you can send them that'll kind of show them what you're doing. Like for example, I wanted to record with George Clinton. Our album was done, and my bandmates, I told them this album needs George Clinton, and they basically laughed in my face. So I went on social media, found his page, and I inboxed a message and said, I'd like to record with George. And they kind of sent me a message back saying, well, thank you very much, but we get approached by many national artists we don't record with. But send us your music. We'd like to hear it. And then they sent me they sent me over email saying, well, George likes this. He's coming in from Switzerland to the TV lounge, and he needs to see you in person and meet you just to see. You won't work with anybody unless he meets you in person. So I went and met him, and everything worked out from there. We ended up recording together, and then he flew back, and we did videos together, and ended up, 2 music videos, and he ended up on the album. Billy Cox from Jimi Hendrix's band, same thing. We had done a version of Stone Free from Hendrix, and I went on social media inbox, not knowing there was actually Billy Cox's wife handling the social media. And they responded back with thanks, but we get approached by a lot of people, but no thanks, but send us your music. And I sent it. They said, can you be in Nashville Sunday? Let's record together. And it ended up working out. So sometimes you just get lucky,
Mm-hmm.
But don't be afraid to ask. The key is don't be afraid to ask,
Understood.
That's true. So for what you're saying, besides you helping charities and other events and what you do, you're involved talking with state legislature in order to help, you know, groups. So when you go to Lansing, who you talk usually? Who are the people there?
Like it was, oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting her name. She was the mayor of Southfield, and she became a senator. Brenda Lawrence. It was
Oh,
usually Brenda
hello.
Lawrence they had me meet with.
Oh,
Brenda's a very sweet lady, and I remember her from when I was the chairman for the Chaldean Festival in Southfield. We dealt with her a lot, and she was always a very, very nice person to deal with. So it's like I said, it's just a friendly meeting, and we just kind of say, hey, if you vote for this kind of hurts the music world, the musicians themselves. It helps the conglomerate, but hurts the musicians, and we kind of steer them in the direction. And honestly, most of there's never been a time I met where they said no. They're like, no, we're in the side of the musicians here, so we'd like to help.
I'm glad to hear that. And you know what? By you spending your time, because it takes time away from the family, other important things, going there and educate legislation is very important because sometimes they don't understand the other side of the story. And when
Yeah,
you can bring some input, it help a lot so they can understand better and can make good decisions. And thank you for that. This is, important. So I want to ask you, so you are involved in charity. So what kind of charities can you tell us about a little bit about it?
sure. Well, my involvement started kind of in like right around like 98, 99. I remember a lady had called our band and said, my daughter's very ill. Would you guys mind playing at an event? It was at a small bar. She liked your band. Would you mind playing? I said, absolutely. So we went and played the gig, and it went really well. The girl was very happy, that. And then the mother had called us a couple weeks later and said, look, I just wanted to tell you that my daughter had a smile on her face the whole night. She's been going through a lot of treatment and stuff like that. And she said, she did pass away, but I just want to thank you guys. You really, really made her. That was the first time we've seen her that happy in a long time. When I realized the power of that just by playing music, I mean, it's what I do anyway, that it's somebody could be happy or I can help somebody out. That really propelled me into trying to do as much as I can. Cause it's, we're lucky, it's a gift from God that we can play. If I can do something with that positive and help others, I'm happy to do it. But we work with Danny's Miracle Angel Network, the D-Man Foundation, which is based with Sam Kassab in memory, and started by his son Ziad in memory of Ziad's brother Danny, who had passed away after he was hit by a car at a young age. And it's a great, really, really cool studio where a lot of people can come in if they're quadriplegic or have closed head injuries. We have a special studio set up where even without being able to move, using like a sip and puff technique, they can make their own beats. And maybe they can't speak that many words per minute for whatever reason, but when we have them writing their own lyrics and singing their own songs without even realizing it, speech therapy gets much better. And then we record music for them. We have showcases for them where they get to perform live. And we have all kinds of other events too, like during the Dream Cruise, we go to the Daughter Man building. Behind the building, we have convertible cars lined up there. People volunteer, and we bring hoists. We pull them out of their wheelchair and put them in the car, and they have a tear out pad in the back, and then they could tear up and down Woodward and come back, and then we put them in another vehicle. Just things to improve their lives. And I'll get calls from the guys. They want me to play some guitar on their tracks and stuff. So I go to the studio and knock out some guitar for them and help produce things and that kind of thing. I've worked with, I used to run a basketball program in Detroit called United Youth 2000 at Detroit Loyola off of Finkel, Wyoming, with Coach Robert Brown. And that was for a lot of the single parent children in the city. The basketball was a draw, but we taught them the things that they miss in a household if they're missing a parent. And then we sponsor and take care of all the kids at the end of every week with food and this and that, and then trophies at the end. And I've worked with Reverend Sheffield in Detroit, taking care of his food pantry. And I work with the Kim Center in Detroit with the adults that can't take care of themselves during the day. And I work with the Fraternity of Notre Dame with the nuns that take care of their people, and they send food back to Niger. And it's really nice too when we send them the pallets of food. The U.S. military delivers it, so there's no delivery charge, no freight charge for them. A bunch of other, whatever I can do to help we try and do whatever we can to try and make a difference.
Well, speaking of the charitable stuff, in July, I think it is, there's an upcoming Kassa state event, right?
Yep, July 12th, Salute Our Warriors. Phenomenal event. The money is raised for the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund, where 97% of every dollar goes directly to the injured veteran or their family. The 3% overhead is strictly because we have to make sure the accounting records are good for government purposes.
Mm-hmm.
We have multiple helicopter landings with military generals. It's a nonpartisan event. Everybody, because everybody supports the vets. And just to see how happy they are, we honor them. We do a flag changeover. My band plays, and we usually bring in a musical guest. Like last year, we had Derek St. Holmes, who played with Ted Nugent, sang all his hits. And the year before, we brought in Billy Cox from Jimi Hendrix's band, which was great too, because he was in the military in the 101st Airborne with Jimi Hendrix. So it fit the theme, and just a wonderful.
You think you'll
event.
ever get Kid Rock to come?
A lot of times we have it. He's on tour at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll have to talk to the board members, see if anybody would like to reach out to him, talk, with him, or maybe there's a few guys I think it'd be fun playing. I'm working on a special guest this year, a couple of special guests. We'll see if it pans out. And here's the thing, whatever guests come, the beauty of the event is the event is supported anyway. All the guests that come, it's like added value to the event, but we're also into supporting this cause that we're coming to the event anyway. We're going to fill the place up. So whoever we bring is just a bonus.
Understood.
No, it's very nice what the Kassa family and the whole community for this event does for the soldiers and all the veterans and people, That's every year is one, right? One big event, right?
Yeah, we actually, usually one big event there for the veterans, and we have a second one called America's Safety First, which the first year we didn't do it at Sam's house was last year because we had Tucker Carlson at the event. We had to do it at the stadium, but usually that's at Sam's house also, and that honors first responders, police, fire, that type of thing.
Oh yeah, tell us how was Tucker Carlson? I remember it was in Macomb County, I think.
Yeah, it was at Jimmy John's Stadium. And it was great. I mean, he was very, very, I was surprised because usually A-listers sometimes can be not as friendly when you meet him in person. He was actually very, very friendly. And, we played Welcome to the D as he jumped on stage with us to talk. And it's just, I was very impressed that he was a very nice guy. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
Because I've met a few people that aren't. So sometimes you think they're
think
nice
we all
and you
have.
meet them, but he was actually a very nice guy.
True. It's true. So again, when is the fundraiser is gonna be this year?
It's July 12th. It's on a Friday.
Okay.
And it's gonna be at Sam's house in Rochester Hills.
Nice. So it's gonna be some flyer going around for the people that are watching the show today. I mean, if they wanna help with any donations, it's gonna be a flyer, everything, or it's a website, or how people can
Oh yeah. Just look up if you go to Facebook and look up Salute Our Warriors, and it'll take you right to the page where you can donate on Cheddar Up, and you can buy tickets to the event and all kinds of stuff. And it is a first-class event. Food, drinks. There's a lot of celebrities there. I mean, everybody from boxing champions to Miss Olympia was there last year, and different musicians and all kinds of stuff. It's just a very fun event and a great atmosphere. Everyone's very friendly.
Is it worth it to buy the VIP?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You get in early, you get to meet everybody, and it's put it this way, at the very least, it's worth it anyway because the money is going towards the cause. So
no, and it's very important. We have a lot of needs in our community, and or military or veterans, and then for what you're doing right now, helping people with Mr. Kassa and everybody involved here with this large of people that's helping, it means a lot, for the community. I mean, it's not many people that do events like this, and I mean, I make sure when the time comes, if you can share the flyer or the information, I will be happy with Troy. Most likely put it everywhere on Facebook or social media, so people know.
Thank you.
Happy to help as well. So before we end, can you tell us, is there going to be any other event maybe after this summer, or any presentation, something that people want, they want to see you? Or...
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you saying is it annual event?
Yeah, besides this event, you're gonna be involved in any other events, or if
Is there
people...
gonna be
Oh
any
yeah, yeah.
upcoming events?
I just did a celebration of Buddy Miles that I put together. We had 19 musicians on stage, and musicians from all over the world came in. That was recently at the Michael Guido Theater in Dearborn. As a fantastic event. We're looking at we've got some offers now in other states to put on the event there. Middle of June, my band, we're playing down in Ohio. I'll send you the venue information for that. And then June 30th, we're doing a private event at the M1 Concourse. July 12th, we got the Warriors event. And then we haven't got the date yet for America's Safety First. And we have some other events going on in September. And things are always kind of popping up. They kind of happen. And I got to say, the Kassa family, I mean, they're relatives of mine. So, of course, that they're, that I'm going to talk nice about them, but not even because that they're beautiful people. They really are. Sam and Ziad are like incredible people, incredibly generous, just beautiful people to be around. And I'm so proud to be their cousin. And it takes a lot to open up your home to bring that many people to raise money for a charity, and bringing people to your personal, area for, and letting helicopters land in your backyard and all kinds of stuff.
You don't see that every day, do you?
I'm sorry?
You don't see that every day, do you?
No. People trip out when they're, when they see these helicopters landing in somebody's backyard. So I always wonder, what the hell are the neighbors thinking?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. You're right about that. Do you have a Facebook page, or for people that are watching the show today, like if they want to follow some of your events or something, do you have a Facebook or any?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can go to
page or something.
Yeah, you can go to Slight Return USA, and that's on the Facebook page, or you can even look me up at Mark Slight Return Kassa. I put the band's name in the middle of my name just so they know that it's part of the band stuff. And really, yeah, just check out on there, and we'll have events posted and that kind of thing. We got new albums coming out this year. I've got 12 albums out already, a dozen albums out, 13th album's coming out this year. And we've had over 20 songs on the Grammy Awards first round ballot. And we'd have 2 songs on the Latin ballot. No nominations yet, but we've been to step 1. We're waiting to get to step 2.
Great. Well, before we finish, Troy, you have any other questions?
No, I think we're good.
We good?
Mark, well, thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure.
No, thank you guys. I really appreciate you having me on.
Okay, thank you, Mark, and appreciate your time, everything. I wish you the best, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for everything you do. It's very impressive, and very nice to get to know you more and know that you're helping a lot of charities, and that's important. And I think God bless people like you a lot, and try to spend the blessing among a lot of other people. It's very nice what you do, and thank you. Very nice.
No, thank you. Thank you. Trust me, feel very, very fortunate that, God's put me in a position where I can give back, and I'll never take that for granted. I'm very, very, very grateful, and hey, whatever we could do to make a difference somewhere in the world, we're going to do it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Troy. That was all for today. And thank you, Mark, again. And that, we're going to put the information from Mark. It's going to be his Facebook here. You can click the link and follow Mark and see what other great news we want to hear from Mark from today and moving forward. Well, thank you all, and have a blessed day.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
All right. I'm going to